Hi, I'm Terry Kyle, the Australian co-founder of WPX.net. WPX is a high-speed WordPress hosting company for solopreneurs, SEOs, and small agencies. And if you're not happy with your current WordPress hosting provider, I urge you just to go over to trustpilot.com and look at the thousands of reviews that long-term customers of WPX have been leaving for us. Now, since 2016, we've been taking care of hundreds of dogs, homeless dogs, rescue dogs, here in Eastern Europe. And I'm here with my buddy Rexy. He's a beautiful teenage boy. He's quite a handful. He's a bit of a character. He's quite lively, but he loves people and he's awesome. Now, today we're going to be meeting Vladko, and Vladko was shot 5 times with an air rifle, and some of these pellets went to critical places in his body, like into his throat, his jaw, also in his spine as well. So we're going to find out all the details of exactly what happened to Vladko, where he was injured, all of his other medical conditions, what we needed to do for him, how he's doing now, and what the future looks like for a dog like Vladko. So we're going to head over to a different yard. We're going to leave Rexy behind to go on with his adventures and work for the day, and we're going to meet Vladko. I'm here with our great vet, Dr. Chris, and Chris thinks that he was shot at least 5 times with an air rifle. So unfortunately, some of these were in very vulnerable positions. So Dr. Chris is just going to explain to us now as we see what a friendly, playful guy Vladko is. He's a lovely dog. He's really, really sweet. And Dr. Chris is just going to explain the state that he was in with all of these air rifle pellets, and also his eyes and what was required after he came to us.
So when Vladko came to us, he was malnourished, he was losing some weight, and we noticed on the first exam that he has some abscess on the head. Then we noticed some muscle atrophy on the temporal bone. Also, we noticed he cannot open his mouth by himself. He was having trouble. We ran some tests and we found that he has masticatory muscle myositis, which is an uncommon disease. Some breeds are predisposed, like golden retrievers and labradors, but he is mixed dog, so he has some genes. We also noticed that he has some wounds, and when we make x-rays, we notice that they're from the air rifles, and some of them were in the cheekbones, somewhere in the frontal part of the mount, and he also has one on the spine between the thoracic and the lumbar vertebrae. He also has one pallet on the left elbow. After a few days, we put him under anesthesia and we take out some of them, but there was some that we couldn't remove, so we left them because they was not causing any trouble. Unfortunately, one of the pellets was causing him inflammation on the cheekbone. Then we take some sample. It came out that he has a bacteria called Escherichia coli, which was causing this inflammation to the bone. It's called osteomyelitis. So now he has 2 conditions: masticatory myositis and osteomyelitis. Our first decision was to start treating the masticatory myositis because he was having trouble eating, and we started him on corticosteroids, which helping him to feel better and open the mouth after a while. But it's not curable, but it's manageable.
So obviously Vladko, you can see he's curled up here like a cuddly teddy bear. He's the sweetest, softest dog. But often we find that with abused dogs, they're completely harmless. They're not aggressive or vicious to people at all, but still people want to shoot them or poison them. We've had a dog here years ago hit with an axe by its owner. It lost its tail. Just terrible, terrible situations. So with all of these injuries and conditions, Chris, can Vladko have a kind of semi-normal life? Because I see his balance is quite wonky, and sometimes he's like falling over a bit and all of that. Can he have a relatively normal life?
Yes, of course he can have a normal life. With this treatment that we started. Now he's feeling much better. He started to open his mouth more. He will still will be a little bit wonky, but it's not causing any more trouble, so we cannot do anything about it.
I remember when he arrived, the shot wound, the air rifle wound in the neck was horrendous. It was badly infected. It was very pussy. It was obviously very sore for him. It was a terrible situation. But from a character and personality point of view, Vladko, I mean, he's a young dog. He's very affectionate, as you see. He's very comfortable with people. He's a super adoptable dog. And once we get through more of these treatments, we'll be looking for him to go into one of our big yards outside, like you would have seen in other episodes. So obviously, if Vladko was still on the street and none of that was treated, he would be in a lot of pain. It wouldn't be a good situation. One of the problems we have as a foundation and shelter is that we can only help actual victims. I mean, many dogs on the streets are potential victims, like potentially something very bad could happen to them. They could be hit by cars, they can be poisoned, shot, all kinds of horrible, attacked by other dogs, all kinds of horrible things. But because of our capacity and resources, the same for any dog shelter or foundation, we can only really help actual victims and not potential victims, and it's one of the many challenges of doing this kind of work. Vladko has a happy ending so far, but I will update you in future when we find a good home for him, good people to look after him. But he's a great dog, really like him a lot, and I'm very glad that we saved him. And that's the story with Vladko, and I will update you on his progress in a future episode, as I will do with all of the serious cases that I mention in this series on the channel here. Now, in the next episode, we're going to prove that one of the big myths when it comes to homeless dogs and rescue dogs and shelter dogs, that these are all these kind of what we might call a mongrel, mixed breed or whatever. In fact, over the 5 years that we've been here, we've had quite a few breed dogs have come through. We've had golden retriever, Labrador retriever. We have Tara, she's just over in the next yard there, German Shepherd mix, hunting dogs. We had a Pinscher recently. We've had Pekingese dogs. So breed dogs, just like mixed breed dogs, the non-breed, non-purebred ones, also can be dumped, they can be abandoned, they can be abused. So we're going to meet the beautiful little terrier Dexy in the next video and find out her story.